This is in continuation of the computation of the performance measure of the transformer. Previously we have discussed the voltage regulation. Here say the efficiency is discussed, which is dependent on the losses. So the point for today's discussions are losses and efficiency of the transformer. Transformer losses are staggered into the four categories: the core loss, copper loss, dielectric loss and the stray loss. The dielectric loss, as the name suggests, it is happening in the dielectric materials, which are say the insulating materials, and the stray losses are because of the stray current induced in the transformer body. So these two losses are coming out to be very small in comparison to the core loss and the copper loss. So these two, dielectric and the stray losses, are neglected in the calculations. The core loss, as the name suggests, it is happening inside the core because of the two regions, the hysteresis loop and the eddy current formulation. So because of this, it is resulting into the hysteresis and the eddy current losses, which are related by the expressions as such. F is the frequency and Bm is the magnetic flux density. So the total core loss, which is regarded as the iron loss, is the sum of these two. For the transformer, we have already discussed that the voltage or the induced EMF is related by the term 4.44 F and phi n. So F is the frequency, N is the number of turns in the winding. Likewise, this phi m is referred as the Bm into AC. AC is the area of cross section. So because of this, the Bm comes out to be V upon 4.44 F and AC. When say we are substituting this, it is giving rise to the new coefficient, but the point here is the pH is coming out to be frequency and voltage dependent, where say the PE, it is depending only the voltage. So how in the transformer frequency and voltages are constant, so that's why the pH and PE, or you can say the iron losses, are coming out to be constant. They are not affected due to the change in the loading level. So the copper loss, it depends on the current carried by the primary and the secondary windings. So this particular current is depending on the loading level, and because of this particular arrangement, they are regarded as the I square R losses happening in the copper conductor. So they are given the name copper losses. Because of the current in the primary and the primary resistance, there will be I1 square R1 loss. Because of the secondary current and the secondary resistance, it will be I2 square R2 loss. These two are combined to form the copper loss. Previously we have gone through the equivalent circuit. So when say the equivalent circuit is referred to the secondary, the total copper losses can be regarded as I2 square Re2. When say the equivalent circuit is referred to the primary, it is regarded as I1 square Re1, where say Re2 and Re1 are the equivalent resistances referred to the secondary and primary respectively. The transformer efficiency, so efficiency depends on the output and the input. Input is consisting of output plus losses, so the efficiency is expressed as output upon output plus losses. The output depends on the voltage, current and the power factor. So that particular is V2I2 cosine of theta. So correspondingly the denominator terms comes out to be V2I2 cosine theta plus iron loss plus copper loss. We have substituted the expression of the copper loss in this to the I2 square Re2 likewise. Now the point which are to be remembered, that the output depends on the current level or the loading level I2. It also depends on the power factor. because the V2 is largely constant. However, the losses, which are the copper losses, depends on the current level. They are not depending on the power factor. Now we have divided the numerator and the denominator by the I2, so it is resulting into the expression like this. This particular is utilized to find out the maximum efficiency. To calculate the maximum efficiency, this denominator term has to be minimized. The only controlling variable is the current level I2. So we will be doing the partial derivative, derivative of this denominator term by the I2. When that is attempted, we will be getting the equation like this. So it suggests that the copper loss has to be equal to the iron loss to have the maximum efficiency. Now, if suppose we are having a test on the transformer, which will be discussed in the next class, then the rated full load copper loss PCUFL can be obtained from the short circuit test, because this is carried out at the rated current, where say the rated iron loss is obtained from the open circuit test or the no load test. So you please be mindful that this PCUFL is the copper loss at the rated full load current. So this particular rated full load current, it is multiplied by the RE2, so that particular is giving the rise to this PCUFL. We have already suggested that the copper loss has to be equal to the iron loss for the maximum efficiency. So when say we are dividing this equation by the first equation, so it is resulting into like this. So the K, which is a percentage of the loading level, is expressed likewise. This percentage loading level to which the maximum efficiency is resulted is coming out to be the square root of Pi upon PCUFL. So the current level is obtained in terms of the percentage loading and the rated full load current. These particular are substituted in the general expression, so it is resulting into the value likewise. So please be mindful this, that the I2 square RE2 has to be equal to the Pi, so this is giving rise to the term. Now this is a percentage loading, this is the full load current specified, this is the rated voltage. So these two terms I2FL and V2 are suggesting the rated kVA or rated volt ampere rating as likewise. So the expression of maximum efficiency will be K, which is the percentage loading level to which the maximum efficiency is resulted, multiplied by the rated volt ampere rating into the cosine of power, so cosine of theta, which is the power factor, divided by this particular output plus the total loss. So in this maximum efficiency, it is depending on the power factor, and you can say the loading level is not there, so it is depending only on the power factor, because this K is decided by the Pi upon PCUFL, as rated is fixed, so it is depending only on the power factor, but there is no linear relationship as such, because the cosine theta is appearing both in the numerator and the denominator terms. So let us take this particular example, where say the kVA is 20 kVA. Open circuit test data is suggesting the losses as 120 watt, which is the Pi. Short circuit test data is suggesting the loss, which is the PCUFL. Now we are interested in calculating the efficiency at rated load for the different power factor, the half load and the different power factor, then the maximum efficiency at different power factor level. So these are the summary, and the efficiency expression is also written here for ready reference. Likewise, the PI is coming out to be 120 watt, PCUFL is 300 watt. So the efficiency at the rated load is calculated. So rated load means it is giving the 20 kilovolt ampere, 20 kVA. So at unity the output will be 20 kVA multiplied by the 1, which is the cosine theta. Losses are 120 and 300, so it is giving rise to the 97.94 efficiency. At 0.8 lagging power factor, so cosine theta is replaced here as 0.8 instead of 1, and we will be getting the expression like say 97.44. On the similar line, we have calculated for the lead power factor, the numerical values are coming out to be there. So the efficiency is not affected by the lag or lead nature, because only the power factor is participating, likewise not the lag lead nature. However, the unity power factor resulting the highest efficiency in comparison to the other power factor. So at half load, the copper losses will be 1/4, because the copper losses are the I square R losses. So at half load, the current will be 50% or half of the rated full load current. So that is giving you the 75 watt. Similarly, the efficiency is calculated at unity power factor. So you please see that the losses PCU are now 75 watt, and here you have calculated the efficiency that is coming out to be 98.09. Similarly, at the lag and lead power factor, the efficiencies are calculated. So at half load unity power factor also, the efficiency is higher than the efficiency calculated at 0.8 power factor. So the at maximum efficiency, K, which is the percentage loading term, is coming out to be like this, which is the square root of Pi upon PCUFL, so 0.6325. This particular is factor fixed, S rated is fixed, only the cosine theta is changing. So at different power factor level, ranging from unity to the lag lead relationship, we have calculated likewise. These particular maximum efficiency are coming out to be higher than the respective efficiency calculated previously. However, at unity power factor, the efficiency is highest in comparison to the efficiency calculated at other different power factor levels. Likewise. So with this, we can have a summary that the efficiency is affected by both loading level and the power factor. For equal value of the power factor, the efficiency is unaffected by the lag or lead nature of the load. The core loss although depends on the voltage and frequency in general relationship, but they are constant because the frequency and voltage level are not changing for the transformer. For equal loading, the unity power factor yields higher efficiency in comparison to the corresponding inductive or capacitive load level. So the load level is basically the current level, likewise. Next, we will be discussing the transformer test, and for further reading you can refer these two textbooks.